Hi everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, talking about a healthy hormone detox, and this is all in honor of my upcoming book, The Female Fat Solution, talking about exercise, nutrition, and mindset that matches with your hormones, so you're working with your body instead of fighting against your body and following a plan that is not designed for women. So this is the first ever program, meal and exercise program, that is designed specifically for women to follow. Yay! So today, when I'm talking about healthy hormone detox, specifically related to stress. And stress is a huge hot topic in today's world. Now, one really important thing when we're talking about stress that you need to understand is that there's a lot of different components to it. And I'm going to briefly touch on 3 different things related to stress and things that you can do to help combat the stress that you have in your life. So, hi Nadia! So if you guys have questions, go ahead and type them in here into the, below the video or whatever, or after you have questions, you can still comment and ask a question, or you don't hesitate to private message me. More than happy to answer any questions that you have. So, when we're talking about hormones and stress, one of the things that people really focus on is the stress hormone cortisol, which, yes, when you are under stress, your body will release excess cortisol in response to that external stress. Yes, stress from teething babies counts. Yes. Now, there's lots of different types of stress. I've done videos on stress where we talk about acute stress, chronic stress, so stress that you're not getting out of your body, a chronic stress cycle, that type of a thing. So those things I'll dive into at a different time, but it's really important that you're understanding that cortisol is the biggest hormone here related to stress, and cortisol negatively impacts your other hormones here. So it's negatively going to impact your estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. So when you're talking about healthy hormones overall, when these other hormones are being negatively impacted by cortisol, it's really hard to maintain those healthy hormone balances because of the excess cortisol. The other thing that cortisol does is it will take the protein that you're eating and it will turn it into sugar, because your body will crave sugar. Your entire nervous system runs off of sugar and carbs. That's the way the body works. So what I love to educate on is just how the body works, and then how you can eat or tailor your nutrition to maximize how your body naturally works, instead of trying to implement these fake things, false things, pills, all these other, crazy things that don't give you a lasting healthy result. So when your body's high in cortisol and it's increasing, taking your protein that you're intaking and converting it to sugar, one of the things to combat that is increasing the amount of protein that you're eating. Why? So your body has protein nutrient available so that you can support the nutrients that your body needs. Every cell in your body uses protein. Every cell. So a lot of times people will talk about increasing your protein to support your lean body mass, to get healthier, etc. Great. Super. Great, grand, wonderful. Yay. But know that if you're not even getting the right amount of proteins to begin with, it's going to be converting that into sugar. And what does your body do with excess sugar? Stores it. It holds on to it and it becomes friends with it and everything. And then it doesn't want to let it go. It doesn't want to release it. No, because it became friends with it now. So what do you do about that when that happens? That's where we go through a cell cleanse. What are good sugars and proteins? Oh, we'll talk about that. Oh, we will. So talking about cell cleansing to get rid of that excess energy that has been stored from your body. So this is a fat cell. See, I wrote fat cell right there if you can see it. When you have this excess sugar in the body that your body has stored, then it is taken protein, turned it into sugar, is called gluconeogenesis. It causes your fat cells to swell up like a balloon, and then it stores that excess sugar inside along with the excess hormone and cortisol, and it can be these other hormones locked in there too. Yay! Now, how do you get rid of it? You go through a cell cleanse process, and I'll talk about this more in a different video, but this is a very important process. The only way your body physiologically can release the energy from these fat cells and flush out the excess sugars and the excess hormone here is by going through a cell cleanse. Very unique and specific. Now, I'm not going to say sugars are bad in relation to the question. Good proteins, healthy proteins, they can be from meat sources, dairy sources, whey proteins, plant-based proteins are also very, very healthy. But just understand that in terms of getting protein in your body, I'll do a different video on protein absorption and how that relates to your hormones tomorrow. But if you're not getting the right kind of proteins, the right amount of proteins, you're not going to get these levels, and your body's going to have a hard time fighting the cortisol. And I hate to say it like that, fighting cortisol. You're not going to like give it a 1-2 punch. You really just kind of want to outsmart the cortisol, so to speak. So here we go. Cortisol, converting this to sugars. It stores everything in the hormones in your cells. Going through a cell cleanse gets rid of that. So these big, inflamed fat cells now that are blown up like a big balloon, they get deflated and they're like little flat pancakes here. Yay, that's what you want. That means you're not having that excess energy and you're not having that excess hormone in your body. And then that releases a lot of the stress that it has on your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, tons of other hormones. Now, here is another piece that's really, really important. Adaptogenic herbs are very, very key in terms of really getting your body to turn around, to support the stress that you're having, to support the other hormones in your body, and to help with the whole process of cell cleansing and everything, because you have to boost your nutrients, because it's tough for your body to do. Boosting your nutrients through protein, to get through the cell cleansing and everything else, it's a process. So adaptogens are there to do that. Now, this may be a new term for you, a new word for you. I am, certified licensed in Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and I've studied Ayurvedic medicine for years. So adaptogens is something that's very, very common in Eastern medicine. It is not necessarily as common yet in the Western world. So this is a very, very key piece of incorporating different herbs and supplements in that are going to benefit an entire process like this. And here's why. Adaptogens don't get rid of the stress, but they help your body deal with it and handle it, so it's not having as much of a negative impact. Now, when stress and cortisol, one of the impacts it will have is it will increase your heart rate, increase your respirations, it will decrease your digestive system, and it causes literally a ton of strain on every single organ system in your body, which means every single organ system is not functioning as well as it should. That is no bueno. No bueno for you and your body. So adaptogens help that process, meaning it supports and boosts your body's natural ability to handle and deal with the stress. When we look at one of my favorites, Audrey says she loves my videos. Thanks, Audrey. And she's going to message me later. Awesome. Yeah, totally. Message me later. Oh, we can talk. We could talk about cell cleansing or ashwagandha. This is one of my favorites. Not only is it super fun to say, ashwagandha, but it has a ton of amazing properties to it. So it's an adaptogen. It's also anti-inflammatory. It's antioxidant. And it boosts your immune system. So all fantastic things, because when your body's high in cortisol, along with it being hard on every single system in the body, it also is hard on your immune system. So having ashwagandha available, it boosts the immune system. Another thing it is known for is it's a calming agent. So when you talk about the increased respirations and heart rate and everything else, ashwagandha will help to calm that down in the body. It also enhances your entire endocrine system. So endocrine meaning hormones. So a lot of these hormones, it's going to help process these hormones better. And it helps specifically with your thyroid function and your adrenals. That is very, very key. People who are under chronic stress, meaning they are stuck in the stress cycle and they never are able to get out of it, they get diagnosed with what's commonly called adrenal fatigue. That doesn't sound good, does it? No, because your body's constantly kicking out that cortisol. So ashwagandha is very, very important in helping to regulate your adrenals to prevent them from becoming fatigued and to help them recover if you've already gone through adrenal fatigue. So hopefully that's really helpful. The other thing ashwagandha is known for is that it's very, very rich in iron. Women are commonly deficient in iron because of hormonal issues and things like that, or they're not getting enough iron, they're not eating the right proteins, etc., etc. Oh, Deanne, hi Deanne. You want tips on Monday? For sure we'll talk on Monday. Yeah. Sorry. See, I get distracted by the little scroll of comments. I'm like, squirrel, someone commented. Sorry. Ashwagandha, iron, very important. Ashwagandha is high in iron, so it's going to help boost that iron in the body. Anemia is actually the most common deficiency throughout the world. So one of the little tips that I tell women to do all the time is to cook with cast iron. It infuses your food with up to 30% more iron just from cooking. Cool, huh? You can boil water in it, fry food in it. I cook eggs in it just about every day. So to help my body get more iron that it needs. But ashwagandha also is high in iron to replenish that nutrient that the body really needs, especially when you're under a lot of stress. Your body's not processing food the way that it normally does. So that's the one thing to kind of understand. People think, oh yeah, I'm under stress. Oh, I'm always under stress, or things like that. Stress has a huge physical impact on every organ system, and things don't work well then. And what's really interesting is that it's different person to person. That's another thing to kind of keep in mind. How my body reacts to stress is going to be different than how your body reacts to stress. Also, some of that depends on any other previous health conditions you have had, other major stressors you've had in your life, things like that. So it's not always going to be the same, but it really is very important that you go through these steps to help your body combat and deal with the stress. Another piece about stress is that, the mindset part of it. Some people could say, hey, oh yeah, that's stressful. Or, they have like top stress things or births, deaths, job changes, moves, all these other things, right? And people could say, oh yeah, we'll just buck it up, or, that's fine, you'll get over it. Time heals and blah, blah, blah. And that technically could be true, but if you've been under a severe amount of stress in your life, your body could be holding on to that. So it's not letting it go. So even if you were under major stress, say a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 12 years ago, it doesn't matter. Your body could still be holding on to that stress, which means that the effects of the stress are still impacting you today. Keep that in mind when you're looking at everything. And the one thing I kind of tell people is that, you don't necessarily know everybody's past, everybody's history, what they've gone through, and what their body's dealing with. So the whole thing about kind of kindness and, just be kind to everybody because you don't know their history. You really don't. And it could be something that they went through years ago that's still impacting them today. So, and that they don't necessarily feel good because of it. So I would love for you guys to share this video. Share this video with anybody that you know that could use some help with healthy hormones, has stress in their life, anything like that. Hi, Spot. Yes, thank you. Thank you, puppy. He's very excited right now. I know. Look, I'm going to show you. He's like, oh my God, Mom. Because I'm just sitting here, right? I'm just sitting here. It looks like I'm just ready to play with him, right? I know I took you for a run today. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So lovely. All right. So share this video with anybody that you know could really use some help with stress. And animals are also great for stress relievers, typically, when they don't get in the garbage. Little side tip on stress. But I'm going to be talking more about healthy hormones and stress in the next couple of days because there's so much information and content to cover. I'm also going to be covering other adaptogens and their effects on the body and what to look for when you're looking for other herbs to help with your stress. You can check out my meal plan and everything else in relation to hormones and stress and the healthy hormone detox, and it's on my website, which is www.drbethwesty.com. And any other questions that anybody has, let me know. Oh, ow! Stepped on my foot. Stress. What are the signs of adrenal fatigue? That was another question. Excellent question. Adrenal fatigue, for everybody, it can be a little bit different, but a lot of times the hard thing with it is that it can be very general type of symptoms that people have. I'm tired. I have a hard time getting up. But I have a hard time recovering. Oh, look, I go for a workout and I'm not, my stamina is not as good and I'm sore for a lot of days, things like that. I have mental fog. You could say that about a lot of different conditions. So that's why it's really, really tough to sort of diagnose with adrenal fatigue. But generally, if you've got stress in your life, if you've had a major stress event, you're going to be storing some of this cortisol in your fat cells, and stress is going to be impacting your life. So therefore, it's going to be really important that you're following a meal plan that works with your hormones, which you can find on my website, and you're going through cell cleansing to really get rid of the excess hormone in your body. So, oh, the mailman is here, and the dog is barking at the mailman, of course. It's okay. Adaptogens, yay! Okay, there's not iron in the vitamins. Should we take to supplement that? Okay, so depending on what type of supplement you're taking, and oftentimes iron is, if you're taking a multivitamin, even if it's a great multivitamin, they won't add in extra iron. Why is that? Because your body's not really going to absorb it that well. I'm sort of jumping topics here a little bit. Iron supplements, technically it says on the bottle, yes, it's got this much iron in it. Oh, if I take it, then I'm going to get this much iron. Yay! Sure, but oftentimes with those supplements, it's not bioavailable, which means your body's not going to actually absorb it and get it. You're better off getting your iron from whole food sources, so just eating a healthier diet. And then also, I'm not kidding, that cast iron thing. Go out and get a new cast iron and start cooking with it. Cook with it every other day. Try and prepare meals. You can bake with it in the oven. It's amazing. The age of your cast iron does make a difference. So if you have a cast iron that's super old, maybe not going to get as much iron from that. I have a cast iron that was my grandmother's. I love it. I love it because it was my grandma's. Doesn't provide me with the right amount of iron in my food? Probably not. So I have, so I got a new cast iron that I use when I cook daily. That one I will still use every now and then just because it's, sentimental, we'll say, but I'm not looking for the extra nutrient from it. So for extra iron, that would be my tip. Get it from your food and try and get it from whole food sources because it is just that much more bioavailable. You're going to get it better. Hopefully that answers your question. If you have other questions on that, don't hesitate to message me about it. Do you have to get ready for a cell cleanse or go right into it? Excellent question, Audrey. If you are looking to cell cleanse, message me and we'll chat about how to go through and do this because I'm just very briefly kind of went over this, and it's a little bit more involved if you're going to do it and actually get the right result from it. Otherwise, it can be kind of tough. Your eggs never work out in a cast iron skillet. They stick to the pan. Okay, my new favorite, which I learned from a friend of mine, Rachel, avocado oil. Avocado oil is fantastic to cook with. I often cook with coconut oil as well, but avocado oil actually has a little higher burning temperature. So get some good avocado oil in there, and then I actually like to put some spinach or some kale leaves in there, and I saute it. Okay, I fry it in there, right? Saute makes me feel fancier when I'm saying that. Oh, I'm sauteing the greens, yay. So I mix that in there, and then I'll add my eggs on top of that. So I'm getting the, cooking in cast iron. I'm getting that spinach, which is high in iron as well. And then I'm cooking my eggs in there. And then you got to use the metal spatula. Plastic will melt, so there's that. I can do some videos on cooking with cast iron if you guys like, because it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more of a different technique than using the non-stick skillets. You have to cook at a little lower temperature and let it cook a little bit longer. And I often find that with the oil and seasoning your pan is very important as well to make things not stick. But then I'll cover it. So avocado oil, spinach, eggs, and then cover it and let it sit for a little bit, and then just flip it. And that's really, really easy to do. Healthy fats, lots of iron, good protein, cooked in a cast iron, boom, you're ready to go. But seasoning your cast iron pan, there's other YouTube videos on how to do that. Actually, Martha Stewart has a great video on how to season a cast iron, and that's helpful. I like to use, when you take care of it, I put oils in it and everything because you can't use soap on it. But I also use beeswax to season my cast iron pans. I love bees, so I use beeswax for that. So hopefully that's helpful. Ooh, Trader Joe's got a new avocado oil. Awesome! Yay! Okay, I can do some cooking videos. I'm not going to pride myself on being an excellent cook. I can bake, but we're gonna give some cooking videos a try then. All right, you guys motivated me. Sure, stepping outside my comfort zone. Anyway, I feel like I got, really distracted. Squirrel. Talking about other things. This is good though. This is good information, helpful information for people. And as you have questions, as you go along and try some of these health tips, let me know. Because a lot of times it's really tough to just sort of jump all in. Jump all in and say discard everything you were doing before and jump into a completely new way of eating and cooking and all this other stuff. It's tough, right? So take little bits of information along the way and incorporate that a little bit more, and then you're going to be successful. But these are the big key things. If you've got stress, if you've got a lot of stress and cortisol in your body, increase your protein so it doesn't get turned into as much sugar. Go through cell cleansing. That's going to help get rid of that excess energy and hormone from those fat cells. And then start incorporating some adaptogens into your regimen, specifically ashwagandha, because of the calming properties that it has, and the enhancement of your endocrine system, dealing with all of these other things. It's just a beautiful adaptogen for stress. Yay! Okay, Christy, she says she's had my cooking and it's tasty. Thank you. Okay, all right, so that was I was planning on this video being like 3 minutes. I think I went over that. Anyway, my book, when's my book coming out? Oh, probably not till like 2017. Yeah, that's okay. It's a process. I'm still working on it. It's still coming along. The other thing is that as different opportunities come up, I'll be a contributing writer to other publications and everything else. And that's super exciting and great. And I love doing that. But then I don't work on my book as much then. Most of it's done though. It's honestly, most of it's done. We're just working through some of the final touches before it gets released. But I am releasing a lot of the information from the book, so you guys don't have to wait for the actual book. You can just start diving in. And if you have questions, let me know. But otherwise, everybody have a great day. And I will chat with you guys tomorrow. I'm going to do a video tomorrow, very special video, because tomorrow's my birthday. And I love my birthday, because I'm a birthday brat. Who isn't though, right? Who doesn't love their birthday? Anyway, everybody have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.